Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Charlie Puth, and that's Attention. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, it's fair to say I've had my differences in the past with Charlie Puth's music, his discography, his material, whatever you want to call it. I just find his brand of chart pop to be very safe and really overproduced as well. And I think that's my biggest negative. Having said that, he is the subject of a lot of unfair criticism, as I think there have been many worse acts out there who have been consistently releasing the same poor song for about 10 years or so now, riding off previous success. Having said this, I'm hoping Charlie will prove me wrong and slide a bit further away from that category. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, in my opinion, this is actually the best song he's released thus far in his career. In a month dominated by brilliant rap releases, strong funk songs, great metal tracks, April is quickly becoming a very strange month for me now, since I seem to be enjoying, or rather having fun, with just about every track put in front of me. This track is not an exception to that. I genuinely think it's probably the best song he has produced up to this point in his career. Although I will dive into more of the praise I had for Charlie and this track later, I will say that it's not perfect and there are many flaws that have been overlooked somewhat stupidly, really. But for the most part, if you separate the artist and his connotations from the track and just listen to it like any other song, just pretend like it was made by anyone else if you want to, you will enjoy it. Having said all this though, production-wise the track is still kind of horrendously mixed. Charlie has a ton of auto-tune put on his voice, especially on the back ends of his notes, and although it is subtle in comparison to what is becoming the industry norm, especially in the charts at the moment, I did find that some sequences sounded straight up robotic in my opinion. The bass, however, sounded bloody marvellous to me, as it kept its natural twang whilst also adding some beef and excitement into the low ground. It's probably the best pop bass guitar I've heard thus far this month. It's crazy. The percussion is a little iffy though, and the track could have done with a more impactful snare and a deeper kick in my opinion. It wasn't like the drums were horrendously mixed or badly mixed or anything like that, but rather functionally mixed and perhaps wasting a little bit of potential. The rest of the instrumentation is well layered, but it didn't sound too natural to me. It was all a little too clean, and the transitions in particular just had no power to them at all, as everything sounds so programmed and tampered with. All in all, there are good parts of this production cycle, but as I've said, it has been really overdone and has been overproduced. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I did think it started a little slow. It came across as your usual Charlie Puth ballad with some overproduced instrumentals and over-dramatized lyrics, relying way too much on that constant falsetto that he likes to use in every single track. It's like Adam Levine version 2, but the bass really dropped in really hard in this track, and suddenly the song transformed into this funk driven beast that I found really catchy. Sure, the vocals did come across a little secondary, and I did feel like Charlie was a little monotonous in the way that he just kept this high pitch for every single note throughout the entire runtime of this track. But I can't help but admit that the progressions were really fun in my opinion. There was a clear difference between the verses and choruses as well, which I thought was a big improvement in comparison to his last album overall, since it actually felt like the track developed this time around. But the bridge was still just a mediocre, quietened, repeated chorus, which he does on every single song. This guy needs to read a book or something on how to write a bridge. This habit has to stop. And for the most part, the majority of the tracks that have been released this year by many other pop artists, this has actually stopped. But I'm just hoping Charlie kind of catches up with this and does stop this too. Lyrically, the track is still pretty weak and it is still pretty cliche. It's more of your Tumblr-worthy nonsense, and there isn't much complexity or diversity here. In fact, it actually carries very similar themes to the majority of the Charlie Puth discography up until this point. So all in all, I'm surprised that I enjoyed so many elements in this track, and I actually recommend it. If you gave me this track or in the entirety of the Ed Sheeran album, I would pick this track in a heartbeat over any of that. So yeah, this is kind of a surprise for me. I enjoyed this song. It's an above average pop song, so I gave it an above average rating, so I gave it a G rating of 6 out of 10. If you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.